ASMR video. Today it's just a nice, simple coffee drinking whisper video with what probably is going to be some rain sounds in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them or not, but it's a bit of a gloomy morning. It's a gloomy Friday morning today, and we've got a coffee which looks like tea because it's that light. It doesn't really show up very well. It genuinely looks like tea. I like my coffee quite light. I like a lot of milk in my coffee, so it's basically a latte. Yeah, I just thought we'd have a little chat. Give me 1 second, I think. Let me just make sure I've placed to put it down. There we go. So, yeah, just a coffee, just a chance to have a chat and enjoy this morning as much as you can because it's gloomy, it's rainy, which is a pretty standard morning appearance for the UK. My chest is actually it's not been bad recently, but the weather here is so weird. I mean, I guess it's probably weird everywhere, but like, it's kind of a staple of English culture to complain about the weather. So I'm gonna uphold that stereotype right now. The UK, it just has weird weather. Like, it will be raining and freezing one day, and then like the middle of summer the next. It's weird. I put some sugar in this this coffee, but it doesn't really taste like there's much in there. I like it quite sweet because coffee's very bitter. Yeah, so I thought we'd just have a little video talking. No eating, no gum ramble, no chewing, just some tea. I keep saying tea, but it's actually coffee. I don't really drink coffee very often, but today's feeling like a coffee morning. Yeah. Do you know, I did have something in mind I thought I was going to talk about, and I've forgotten what it was. I've just remembered. Yeah, I thought I was like editing some videos and realised that I talked about recently, or like, well, it wasn't really recently, it was about 2 weeks ago. I had a video that I had recorded and didn't edit and I was editing it today, this morning, and dramatic pause for a sip, and I was talking about like a game that had happened recently. I just thought maybe I'll just have a little chat about it because there's been updates to it. So if you don't know, I am I just have my phone. I am a professional dungeon master, which basically just means, or game master really, which just means I run D&D online for people, and that is my job. And I've been running, don't know how many sessions it's on now, I think maybe 10. I'd been running a module called Vandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, which, if you're familiar with D&D, is like an additional adventure to the Lost Mine of Vandelver. And the book includes the original adventure and the new one, with some like changes and adaptations here and there. And I've been running a group through the Lost Mine of Vandelver, and in that video, I think it was a gum ramble. I'm pretty sure that's what the video was. I don't remember what kind of video it was now. I've completely forgotten. But in that video, I can't believe I'm losing my train of thought this quick. It's really bad. In that video, basically, I just talked about the game and like how some people have been coming in and out of it. We started with 3 players. One of those players dropped out, leaving 2. But there was another player that came along and made it 4 for 1 session, then 3 again. Then that player basically dropped out, leaving 2. Then one of the players very destroyed, making it 3 again. That player played for 3 sessions, then left, making it 2. But it ended up being 3 for the next session because a new player joined, which is where that video had left off. So if you're familiar with the Lost Mine of Vandelver, in Chapter 3, the players have to go to a place called Cragmore Castle. And it's an old, dilapidated, ruined castle. rescue him. Now the castle was very, very deadly. The players are intended to be level 3 at the time, which my characters were, but they're also meant to have gone and done some other side stuff beforehand. Or it is intended that that's what they do, because they can go off and do things, get some new gear and etc. Just basically get a little bit stronger without leveling up. They didn't do that. They managed to follow a lead and got to the castle right away, which is fine. That's fun. That is okay. But like 2 players, there were only 2. Technically, there were 3 player characters, but only 2 players playing them, and I was playing the 3rd character because that player had left the game, obviously, as mentioned. So there were only 3 player characters there, which is very, very hard. But during the making of that video, just before that video, another player joined the adventure and has signed up, and we did 2 sessions together. So maybe it was only 1 session. Maybe it was only 1 session. I can't remember. My memory's not that great, as you can clearly see. Anyway, they did a session together at the very least, and they did this fight, and somehow they survived it. 3 players playing 3 characters, and me playing a 4th one, versus this castle of goblins, and it was a slaughter. They did very, very well. They got hurt pretty badly, but they somehow managed to wipe out, like, I don't even know how many it might have been, like maybe 30 different enemies in this castle, if not more. Many of them, like, very, very strong. They survived, both on bad luck on my end and good luck on their end. And so, after this survival, they ended up looking around the castle after defeating all of these goblins. Well, even actually before that, they did a short rest in a room nearby, but they had left one room uncleared, which is where the leader was, waiting for them to come into the room. And so they got 10 minutes into their short rest, and this bugbear was like, they're obviously not coming, so I'm going to go and ambush them. So he sends out some scouts to go and search. Their passive perception wasn't high enough to notice, and they were having full loud conversations. Like, they weren't even being quiet. They were having full volume conversations in this castle. So like the goblins were just going, okay, they're in that room, and they're trying to short rest. So they set up an ambush and then surprised them by kicking the door down, and that nearly did kill them. Fortunately, they did win that fight by the skin of their teeth. One of them kept going down, and then after that they got a short rest. They went into another room and found a grell, which is like the best way I described it to them was like a jellyfish out of water, but with a brain and like with an exposed brain and a beak. It's an underdark monster, and so like they got into a fight with that, and they nearly died to that as well. Or one of them nearly did, and that's where we ended off a session. So they managed to do that, but the session after that, so the session that's just happened this week, a few days before, we got 2 new sign-ups to the game, so we've got a total of 5 players now, which is crazy to think. Like 3 weeks ago I thought that game was going to end, and now it's not. Yeah, so they joined up the session. It was a really, really great session, and the 2 new players are really nice, and they really fit into the game. They had a really great little moment of roleplay as well, which I thought was really fantastic, and nice to see. And we included them by having them kidnapped by the goblins. So one of them, basically with this adventure, one of the hooks is that all the characters that get included have to have some kind of tie to Country and Rockseeker. I mean, really, that is only required at the beginning, but I like to keep it going throughout to give it like a through line. Like, fate has drawn these people games in general, and so I like to have something that interconnects different people. In fact, there are some players that me actually watching these videos, I don't know, so I can't really say too much, but I have like games where players, there's not necessarily one thing that connects everything, but like I run a game on Tuesdays, which is a homebrew game, and there's a Netherese storyline where two player characters have their backgrounds, their histories are kind of tied together in one way, and then two other characters have like their backgrounds tied together in one way because of these not like tied together, but like there's connecting lines, whether it's thematically or such, but all of them have backgrounds of "we left home." Oh, I guess that's not a really deep connecting tissue, but what I mean to say is things like we ran away from responsibility, we ran away from our parents from home to deal with something because of trauma, and I just think that's probably the epitome of many D&D characters, but like they're really leaning into it, so that's kind of like the through line is like, and I know this often is like a theme in most D&D games these days, but like found family, but to the extreme. Like the theme of that game seems to be about abusive families and family dynamics and like separating yourself from the people that you're blood related to, and I think that's kind of interesting, and the different angles that takes. Anyway, that's a different game. So yeah, this game has now 5 players in it, which is interesting because there is technically a sixth player who at this point I think he's just out of the game because he's not responded to me in ages. I did a video a while back talking about a player who had not responded. I said, oh, I could join this session, then didn't. And yeah, that was him. And yeah. So he said he would be away for a couple of weeks, and then basically it said like, oh, I think I might need to leave the game because like of this, that and that, and don't want to open up, I don't want to waste a slot, which is fair, at least he said that. But at the time I wanted him to stay because like then it would be down to 2 players and the game would fall through, you know, and I didn't want that to happen. You know, like, let's be honest, it's a job as well. Like, I enjoy doing it. It's a creative outlet, but like, at the same time, like, it's how I pay my bills and my rent. And for a game to fall through, it's really stressful. So even if the promise of him staying for a while would help, that's something I have to do. So he stayed. But then, like he said 1 week, oh, I can do this week, and then didn't tell me until I asked on the day if he's coming. He was like, no, I'm not coming to the game today. I've decided to do this. I just thought, okay, brilliant. You said you could come, but like, whatever. And then the next 2 weeks would be off, and then that was the 2 weeks. So this week he should have been there, but he's not said anything. So at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'll probably just message him a bit. Like, I think I'm gonna open up the slot because there's been like no communication. So, and the slot is open anyway. Technically, if someone joins on the start playing games, then that slot will be taken and he won't be able to join. I allow up to 6 players in a game. We've got 5 so far. So yeah, and if I'm honest, I don't think his character is gonna fit in anymore. There's a very like bloodthirsty character in the party, and I don't think he's gonna vibe, which is a shame because his character idea works really well with the game, because it's very like psionic focused and like far realm focused, and his character has a tadpole in his head, but he has amnesia, like an illithid tadpole if you play Baldur's Gate 3. And he has that because I'm pretty sure his character is just his Baldur's Gate 3 character, which is fair, you know, whatever, that's fine. But yeah. That's his idea, or was his idea, so I don't know if he's going to still be in the campaign. anyone's best guess, really. But that's a story update with that. Hopefully, either I get a response from him and he'll just kind of like accept or won't accept that he's not in it anymore, and we'll move on to allow another player to come in. But like I said, the slot's technically open. It's not like someone else can't join already. It's just I've said to him, like, if there's a space you can rejoin the game, but technically he's not in it at the moment. Oh, nice coffee. It's a nice coffee, but the dregs at the bottom are not too pleasant. Alright, so that's more or less going to be it. However, before you leave, I've got a little addition for those of you that stuck around. Oh, look at that. For those of you that stuck around, the code word is blue. I don't know what that means. I just thought of that in that moment. Basically, drop blue in the comments and let me know if you watched this far. But if you don't like eating sounds, now's the time to drop off. So thank you very much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and then subscribe. Check out the videos at the end. Well, you're not going to be able to because you're going to be leaving now, but yeah. So I'm going to be eating this. This bar, and I'm going to tell you what it is before I open it. Really, it's only a small thing. It is a mango bar. It's called Fast White, and I'm pretty sure Katie got this brought it back from Turkey. I think. I don't actually know. Either way, it is here, and it's in my hand. So it's basically like a kind of almost like a gelatin candy bite. I already had one of them a couple of days ago, but it looks like a bite of like gelatin or jelly or jello, whatever you'd call it. It's sticky and slimy. There you go. Look at that. What that bar do though? Oh, it nearly slipped out. It's got like sweat on it. There you go, look. Let's see if you can have a good look at that. So those of you that stuck around, you get to have this this beautiful part of this video. And if you don't like eating, now's the time to jump up, so thank you very much. Now, for those of you a fan of eating, let's go. It just tastes like very, very sweet mango. Oh, it's very overwhelmingly sweet. This has been sat on the side. This probably should have been in the fridge, because this, it tastes like I think it's melted a little bit. I think that's why it's like sweaty and tacky. Oh, well, whatever. That's it. It's done. Oh my god. Oh god, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what that reaction was. I just was not expecting it to be like that. That did not taste like it did last time. It wasn't bad, it was just really, really sweet. Probably because it was warm and melted. But there we go. Thank you very much for listening then. If you enjoyed that little bonus element at the end, if you did, drop a like. Consider subscribing. Check out the videos appearing on the side of the screen, and I'll see you in whatever video comes next. Take care.